Do you offer property management services in multiple major metropolitan markets? Are you trying to figure out exactly how you should set up your online presence so that you can best generate leads at scale in every market you service? In today's video, I'm going to dive deep into this subject and take you through the exact way you should set up your property management company so that you can have success in every market that you service. Now, there are really two major considerations that you need to take into account. You have your website or websites and your Google business profiles. So let's talk about the first one, your website. You have two options. You can either have one site that covers all of the different geographic areas that you service, or you can have a website for each major metropolitan market that you service. Now, which one do you think is best? That's actually a trick question. The correct answer is having both, option 1 and option 2. You should have one website that speaks about all of the different markets you service, and the goal of that website is not really to show up in Google for when someone's typing in property management in that market, but to create it into an educational resource that is going to draw a lot of your target audience to find out about your business. And then on that website, you list all of the locations that you service. So what you can do is you can create that website to start attracting national type of keywords. So when someone's out there searching anything that reveals that they're a rental property or a real estate investor, basically your target audience, that they find that website. Then you should also have a website for each major metropolitan market. So if you have a company that services Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, and Atlanta, you would have 3 sites. You would have one specific for the Atlanta market, one specific for the Fort Lauderdale market, and one specific for the Tampa market. And then each of those individual websites will target all of those local area type of keywords like property management in Fort Lauderdale or hiring a property manager in Fort Lauderdale, as well as educational content geared specifically towards rental property owners and real estate investors in Fort Lauderdale, for example, and in Tampa and in Atlanta as well. So point being is you want to have both. Take the major site that is targeting the entire nation and shows all of the different markets you service, and then have a more local site that targets the geographic location that that company services. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hop on my screen and just show you an example of a company that is doing this effectively so that you can see how this actually looks in practice. So now that we're over here on my screen, I'm going to show you an example of exactly what I was talking about when it comes to having multiple websites. So this company, Specialized Property Management, has a website that is general, that is geared to be educational type of content for real estate investors and rental property owners in different markets. And then on here, they have a list of the different markets that they actually service. You'll notice though that when you click on this, it actually opens up an entirely new website, an entirely new domain. And that is because they also have websites for each specific location that they service. And it is on these websites where they're able to target keywords like property management Dallas, Dallas property manager, stuff of that nature to rank in the local searches. So they're using their main website, specialized247.com, as a website that they can drive in national type of searches. And then on the local level, they are able to show up as well with those local websites that they have. So you can see that here. Hopefully that makes it a little bit clearer just to show you they also have it in other markets as well. So I'll open up one more just so you can see. This one, for example, is a website specific for the Atlanta market. They have one for each of the different markets that they service. So now that we see what that looks like in practice, the next thing I want to talk to you about are your Google business profiles. These are extremely important. But before I get into that, I just want to let you know if you're looking to grow your property management company and looking for help on setting things up and getting things to the point where you're bringing in leads consistently, reach out to us at Upkeep Media. That's what we specialize in. Go to our website at upkeepmedia.com/growth. Fill out the form on that page, and a member of our team will reach out to you at the time that you book that's convenient for you. So let's get back to it. Consideration number 2 are your Google business profiles. Now, when it comes to your Google business profile, you need to have a unique profile for each major metropolitan city that you service. So if I go back to the example before of a company that services Atlanta, Fort Lauderdale, and Tampa, you would need to have a Google business profile set up in each of those 3 cities. One for Atlanta, one for Tampa, one for Fort Lauderdale. then what you're going to want to do is link that Google business profile to the corresponding location-specific website. So for example, your Google business profile in Atlanta will be linked to the website you have specific for the Atlanta market. The one for Fort Lauderdale will be linked to the specific website you have for the Fort Lauderdale market, and so forth. Another word of advice is try to get a Google business profile as close as possible to the city center. That's just gonna help you have a better chance of showing up in that particular market when someone's typing in the major metropolitan market. If you have a business profile but is in one of the suburbs, you're not going to be able to show up for that major metropolitan market. You need to have a physical address in that major metropolitan market to actually have a chance of showing up in that map section. Once you have a Google business profile set up for each location, the next thing you need to start doing is acquiring reviews for each location. So you should get your owners, your tenants, your vendors for each market to leave you reviews in the corresponding market that you service them in. So your vendors and your tenants and your owners in Atlanta should be leaving you reviews on your Google business profile specific to Atlanta. I'm going to show you an example of a company that has this set up properly, just so you can see how this is done in practice as well. So now we're back on my screen here so I can show you an example of what it looks like to have a Google business profile set up when you have a multi-location property management company. So I'll use Specialized Property Management here as an example again, but you can see that they have a Google business profile for their Dallas location. And when I click this, that is linked to their Dallas focused website. So that's what I was talking about before when I said your Google business profile should be linked and associated with the corresponding local website. Then you'll also see, for example, in Orlando, they have an entirely new Google business profile. So this is Specialized Property Management Orlando. And again, this one here is linked to their website that is specific for the Orlando market. So basically what you want to do is have a Google business profile for each major metropolitan market that you service. And then, just like they've done, start acquiring a lot of reviews so that you can start to gain more authority in that map section of Google. You can see here they do a really good job of acquiring reviews. Doesn't mean you need to have 615 reviews in each location. That's a really high amount of reviews. They're doing an excellent job of that. But you definitely want to have, at a minimum, around 20 to 40 reviews when you're getting started. So ultimately you need to do your work and reach out to anyone that will possibly leave you a review so that you can start to get your business to look a little bit more reputable in that local market. Hopefully this made it clearer. I'll hop off my screen and see you in a second. Now that you see what that looks like in practice as well, you have a pretty good idea of the next steps you need to take to start marketing your property management company successfully. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to us, and I'll see you in the next one.